Hey everybody, welcome back. Johnny B here with DevSlopes.com. Continuing on our way with our Where's the Food Truck Android app, communicating with our very own API that we have built with Jack's awesome course. And so let's keep going. In our last video, we got our reviews activity set up to where we are calling our API call to download reviews for a specific truck. And we are ready to get our recycler view set up. And so let's get going with that. And again, in the interest of time, since this course is not actually about, all of this is mainly about focusing on the API. So we're going to speed through this section since we already did a in-depth look at setting up the recycler view. So we're going to go ahead and just get going and see if we can get through this pretty quickly. So what do we need? We need an adapter. So I'm going to right click on the adapter package, say new, Java class. This is going to be food truck review adapter. You know what? I'm just going to call it review adapter. There we go. That's better. Review adapter. All right, and we're going to say extends recycler view dot adapter, and from our last time going through this, we know that right here we need to put in our view holder. So let's go down here to our holder and say new Java class, and this is going to be review holder. Okay, that looks good, and we're going to say extends, and that's going to be recycler view dot view holder. All right, and let's get rid of this error here. We need to create a constructor for it. So we're going to say public review holder, and view item view super, and pass in item view. All right, there we go. That looks good. And now let's go back to our review adapter. And now we can pass in our review holder and start implementing these methods that we're going to need. So we need get item count. We are going to need on bind view holder. And we're going to need on create view holder. All right, so that's looking good. Let's save that. And what else do we need? We need we need a private array list of food truck reviews. And let's go ahead and call this reviews. And then we're going to need a constructor. So I'm going to say public review adapter, and we're going to pass in an array list of food truck reviews called reviews, and we're just going to say this dot reviews is equal to reviews. All right, so when we initialize our review adapter in our reviews activity, we are going to pass into it this array list that we received from our API call. All right, so that's what we're passing in here, and then we are just setting that equal to this array list, and that's the list that we're going to be using inside of here. All right, so then we're going to say here in the onBind view holder, we're going to say final food truck review is equal to reviews dot get and position. And so again, just like we were talking about with our first recycler view, this just goes through the array list that we receive as the initialization of the adapter, and for each row that is created, we grab that particular object, and we're setting that equal to review. Then here on the item count, we're going to say return reviews dot size. And I think that's about all we can do right now. Here in a bit, we're going to create the view holder, but we gotta create those first. So let's come down here to our layout. I'm gonna right click and say new layout resource, and just like we did for our other recycler view, we're gonna say recycler, and I'm gonna say reviews. All right, and then we're gonna come here into our text. All right, and just like we did in the previous one, we are going to create a recycler view, and we're going to say match parent and match parent. And we need to give this an ID, so I'm going to say Android ID at ID, and we're going to call this recycler reviews. All right, that looks good. I'm going to save that. Then we also need a card. Whoopsie. We also need a card, so I'm going to right click, say new layout resource. For the root element, I'm going to say card view, and file name I'm going to say card review. Is the title. I'm going to press OK. And then I'm going to go ahead and drop into it a constraint layout. And for the card view, I'm going to say layout height. Just for starters, I'm going to say 100. And then we're going to change that in a second. Constraint layout, we are going to say, for the height, we're going to say wrap content. And so I'm going to drop in a couple of text views. We only have 2 in this one. This is going to be a pretty easy layout to set up. So for inside of the constraint layout, I'm going to say text view. And this is going to be, the ID is going to be review title. And let's go ahead and switch to our design view and zoom in. Okay, that looks good. And let's make this a little bit bolder, a little bit bigger. We're going to say 16, and it's going to be bold. And then we're going to drop in another text view. And whoops, that needs to go right there. And let's drag that down. Oop, okay, let's drag it down. Drag you out. Okay. All right, let's do this, and let's go ahead and constrain this. We're going to say from the left, from the top. All right, and then we're going to say to the right. And for the layout width, let's say match parent. All right, that looks good. And then for our text view, and why did we lost our, there we go. All right, and then for our text view, we're going to say to the left, to the top, and to the right, to the right. And for the layout width, we're going to change that to match parent as well. So this is the, just for visual sake, this is our review title, and this is our review text. Okay, so let's give these some identifiers. So review title is going to be review title. Say yes. And this is our review text. Constraint layout, I'm going to say match parent just so we can get this bottom constraint set up. Come on, where are you at? There we go. All right, that was a little bit tough to get that equal there. And then we can have a bottom margin of 16. Then I'll set the constraint layout back to match parent is fine, and then the card view will set to wrap content. There we go, that should do it. And then we need to add a top margin of, let's say, 8. There we go, that's what I wanted. All right, perfect. All right, we're gonna save that, and that looks good. And what do we need to do next? We need to set up our activity reviews to include our recycler reviews. Okay, so I'm going to open up our activity reviews. I'm going to say design and come into our text. All right, we want to say include layout, and that is activity layout. Let's find recycler. All right, at layout recycler reviews. That's the one we want. And then we can just close that off. Press save. Check out our design. Looks good. All right, so now I think we are ready to finish up our adapter and our holder. Let's go ahead and work on our holder first. All right, so what do we need here? We need to create references to our text views that we just created. So I'm going to say private text view, text view, and that is title. I'm just going to initialize it to empty string, and then private text view text is equal to empty strings, and then here in the item view, I'm going to say this dot title is equal to text view, and that is item view dot find view by ID, and that is r dot id dot review title. Looks good. Then we're going to say this dot text is equal to, that's a text view, and that is from item view dot find view by ID r dot id dot, and that is review. What did we call that? Did we give that an ID? Let's make sure we gave it an ID. That's down here in activity reviews, or that's in the card review actually. Card view, review text. Nope, we didn't give it an ID. So this should be review text. Okay. And then come back up to our review holder and r.id review text. There we go. That looks good. And then what do we have here? Oh, right. We don't need to initialize to an empty string for these. All right, that looks good. And then we need our update UI function. So I'm going to say public update update UI. And we are going to pass in a food truck and review, or I should say food truck review. There we go, food truck review. And what are we going to do with that? We're not returning anything, so that needs to be void. So what are we going to do with that food truck review? We're going to say review. I should say we're going to say title dot set text, and we're going to take that review dot get title, and then for the text we're going to say text dot set text, and we're going to say review dot get text. All right, so now our update UI function is done, and we can finish up our adapter now. And here on our onBind view holder, we can say holder dot update UI, and we're going to pass in that review that corresponds to that row's position. And then in our review holder, we are now able to inflate our views. So we're going to say view review card is equal to layout inflator dot from, and we're going to pass in a context. I'm going to say parent dot get context dot inflate. So we need to pass in a resource and a view group and a root. So I'm going to say inflate dot r dot layout r dot layout dot card review and parent and false. There we go. And then we are going to return a new review holder, and we are passing in the review card that we just inflated. I'm going to save that. And I think that covers everything for our adapter, for our holder. We set up our recycler and our card. So now we just need to work on the work on our review holder. Not a review holder. We need our, where are you at? I'm going to close all of these. Close. We need our reviews activity. There we go. And what do we need? Up here in our variables, we're going to need a variable for our review adapter. And we're going to call it adapter. All right. And then if it's successful, what do we want to do? Well, let's go ahead and set up our recycler. And that is going to be pretty much identical to our original recycler setup. So I'm just going to come back over here to our food truck list activity, and I'm just going to copy this setup recycler function that we created and paste it right here. No point in reinventing the wheel, but instead we're going to switch up a few things. Instead of the recycler food truck, we want the recycler reviews. Instead of passing in to a food truck adapter, we are passing in to a review adapter, and we are passing in reviews. And everything else, though, I think works. I said this wrong. This should be set up recycler. And then one other thing that we want to do that'll, I think, enhance the user experience just a little bit is if there aren't any reviews, instead of them thinking maybe something went wrong, we'll just throw up a quick little toast message to let them know that there aren't any reviews for it. So I'm going to say if reviews.size, if reviews.size is equal to 0, we're just going to make a little toast. So we're going to say toast dot make text, and we're going to say get base context, and then we're going to say no reviews for this food truck, and then we're going to say toast dot length short, then close parentheses dot show. All right, so I think that covers everything. Let's go ahead and give it a run. See if we forgot anything. All right, I'm gonna click on the Taco Nirvana, click on reviews, and hey, there we go. Delicious tacos, very good. Looks like we only got one review, and but working out real well. Real quick, let's go ahead and add a couple more reviews using Postman. So I'm gonna use Postman, open it up. I'm gonna say add food truck review. Let's open up RoboMongo to grab that food truck. Which one do we want? Food trucks. And Taco Nirvana, grab the object ID. Go back into Postman, select it, and in the body, I'm gonna say awesome tacos. And then here I'm gonna say these were the best tacos I've ever eaten. I'm trying to make a long review so that we can test out the wrap content for the reviews. All right, and then let's go ahead and send that. Food truck review saved. All right, so let's go back to our app. Click on reviews again, and hey, there we go. 2 reviews, and our cards are dynamically sizing to fit the different sizes of reviews. So this is looking real good, guys. And so now we have worked with 2 routes. One was to get all of the food trucks, and then we have a second route to get reviews for a specific food truck, which we use to this one was a little bit more complex. Instead of just a straight up URL, we had to append a food truck ID to it that we had to pass from activity to activity. And it's coming together real good. In the next few videos, we're going to go a little bit more complex we are going to work with headers and with bodies, and we're going to be doing some login, registration, and so it's going to be some pretty cool stuff. So I hope you guys are excited for that, and I'll see you in the next one.